Hey YouTube, and thank you for watching Junkworks Garage. Well, I am doing the rear pinion in my truck, and I need to figure out some torque specs that are way higher than my torque wrench. My torque wrench only goes to about 150 foot-pounds. So I started looking online, and anything above 150 foot-pounds is stupid amounts of money, including these types. So I'm hoping this one works. It seemed to have very good reviews, and quite a few of them, and high stars, all that kind of stuff. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger on this because it'll do between 150 to 740 foot-pounds of torque, and 200 to 1000 Nm for those of you that read it that way. Anyway, it's got memory, LED, speaker, increase, whatever that means, power, trace and peak, and decrease. So you set the where you want it, I think, and then it makes noise. So that's kind of nice. It is a 3/4 inch big boy, basically because of the type of torque you're putting on this thing. So we're going to go ahead and open it up. I will put the price below what I paid for it, and on top of that, I found this is the most budget one I could find. I'm not going to say cheap because it wasn't cheap, but it was the most budget one I could find. It had good reviews, good stars, good whatever you want to call it, on Amazon. And I think somebody screwed up because I looked all over, and this was, for what it was the lowest price, but there was ones selling exactly the same thing on different things on different sites on Amazon for quite a bit more money. So I don't know, either that or this just is the most budget one and those other ones have better parts and pieces in them. I don't know, but regardless, this was the only one I could find that I could sort of kind of afford. We'll put it that way. And there you go. It comes with a nice case. I will say that the package this was in seemed like it was drop kicked, but the box itself, there's a couple little owies in the corners, but in it, you know, it's a little bit beat up, but not near what the outside box was. So they did a pretty good job of shipping. Comes with obviously your user manual and some information that I probably will look at later. And it's surprisingly fairly hefty. Like it's got some weight to it, which yet again these days and age you never know, but a lot of times weight does equate to a little bit better product. That's the only downside to these things, is you got to change the batteries in them, and then they sit and the batteries tend to die. So we'll have to see what kind of batteries this takes. Maybe I'll open that up and we'll take a look at that. So this appears like it is just a little Phillips here, and there must be a battery. I tried pulling on this. Sometimes you can pull on these and they'll let loose and the batteries will work, but it doesn't appear on this one that that's going to be the case. So there's 4 little screws back here. Alright, and just 2 AA batteries here. Pull that out. We're going to check and see, and it does turn on. It did say somewhere what the plus and minus of the accuracy of this was, and it seemed like it was within pretty decent specs even compared to some more expensive ones, but yet again you just never know. It'll come with information that'll tell you all that. I think that's kind of what this card is. It says between, you know, this number and this number, it's this accurate. Between this number and this number, it's this accurate. And it goes through. So I got this set for foot-pounds now. There's 442.5 foot-pounds. I definitely don't want that much. Let's see if we can reset this. Should be able to set this for whatever you want, but it looks like it's going to start out at 442 foot-pounds for some reason and go up or down, which I actually want to go down. So I'm going to go down to 150 foot-pounds. When I get there, I'll be back. And it looks like it'll go lower than that. It just probably isn't accurate beyond the 147, but I want 150. It's 149.7 or 150.5. Why? I don't know. So we're going to go for the 150.5. Now, I'm using a 1/2 inch to 3/4 adapter here on this. Plus, on top of that, I have my socket, which is 1.5 inches, that is a 3/4 socket, which goes on there. So this adapter may change things a little bit, but who knows. Two broken. Son. And now I've had a chance to use this a bit, and although it says it ranges between 147 to 738 foot-pounds, I've realized that it's fairly accurate even lower than that. These lugs are supposed to be between, what was it, 85 to 120. I have this set to 103, and the reason for that is it doesn't seem to be very easy to set this. I go to 0 out, and then I got it kind of set, and it's set for 103. If I go down, it goes to 99.6. So then up to 103. So that's still within the range that I need to be. And I have checked this with my Harbor Freight one, and they both are very close to the same. Surprisingly, and also yet again, to make this work, it takes 3/4 inch. So I got 1/2 inch to a 1/2 inch breaker bar, then a 1/2 inch to 3/4 adapter, then the part, and then I have a 3/4 to 1/2 inch adapter and the 1/2 inch socket there. So, but even with that, they seem to be pretty similar. But yet again, I'm comparing it to a Harbor Freight. Well, it's not even a Harbor Freight one. It actually is similar to the Harbor Freight ones. Has a very similar packaging and stuff. But I actually got it at a garage sale probably 20 years ago. But they seem to be fairly similar in accuracy. So whether or not they're both wrong, I don't know. Can't tell you that. But I have noticed it's very hard. Make sure we're on here. Yeah, it's very hard to read the numbers. So it's easier to set it to what you want, and then you can hear, I don't know if you can hear it, I hope you can. It's beeping, and then it goes to a steady beep. It kind of, lack of a better way of putting it, it sounds like the heartbeat and then the heartbeat dying kind of thing. So, and I think I've over tightened these, to be honest. I was expecting these to that one's moving a little bit, so that's close. I'm using, still fairly new with my rigid impact here, which I also have another video on. Actually, I've already put out a video on it, but I probably will have more videos on it. I'm getting pretty used to it, but I still haven't quite figured out by hand where to put it. And I have found out, if you're not going to watch the videos anyway, that I don't know how accurate the numbers are on that, to be honest. Wow, see, this one is very loose. So, I don't know if anybody knows anything about this. Leave a comment below if you do. It's all trade. I think I paid like 10 bucks for it at a garage sale, like I said, about 20 years ago. I don't know anything about it. I probably could Google it, but regardless, it's done what I needed it to do so far. But I have found that this does seem to be pretty similar in numbers. This one only goes up to 100 foot-pounds, and I put it up to 100 foot-pounds and then use this at the 99 point something, and it didn't actually allow me to tighten it anymore. I put it up to the 103 that I just did these at, and it turned a little bit and then beeped. So they're very close, I think, as far as the foot-pound numbers. Like I said, whether or not either of them are actually accurate, that I don't know, but I would assume if I got two that are fairly close to each other, it's probably fairly accurate. Comes with a nice case, and it was fairly inexpensive for an expensive thing. Now, I will also say I've noticed lately at Harbor Freight they had some of these, but I don't know what foot-pounds they went up and down to. Don't know how accurate they are. I'm sure they're probably made in the same company. Or same building anyway. I don't know that for sure though. But they are cheaper. I can't remember the price, but they were cheaper than what I paid for this. Yet again, unless you're using 3/4 inch sockets and things like that, you are going to have to go and buy some adapters. Once again, these are from Harbor Freight, and I don't remember what I paid for them. I can't even remember if I did a video on them, but they weren't that expensive and they work fine so far, and they are impact rated. So the socket's a Craftsman, I believe. Nope, it's a Napa. But regardless, that'll depend on what you're doing with it. Anyhow, I'm thinking that's about it, all I got for this. I still haven't used it a ton, but I've been happy I got it, so to speak, because I've been able to kind of test my other torque wrenches and things to it and kind of compare them. And so far I've been pretty happy with it. And it's not one of those things you'll use a ton at the higher rating, so I'm glad that I think it actually works fairly good at lower ones as well, or higher foot-pounds, lower foot-pounds, I should say. Thanks for watching Jokeworks Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and master of none. You all have a good one.